think that I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, wait, I'm here. Who want to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. Man, I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening out there, man. It's a lot going on in the sport. And we're going to talk about some of it, We're going to talk about some of it, man. But I hope it's Friday Eve. If you're still in the working class and you can't put your feet up and chill, then for the most part, this might be the second to last day before, you got to hang it up for the weekend, man. And we have a sleeper card. And I'm just shocked that it's not getting as much attention that I believe it deserves. But I was going to do it 2 days ago, and I said, let it build. And typically, I don't really want to do these before the weigh-in because y'all know, man, as an avid boxing fan, man, I got trust issues. But I said, you know what? I'm not going to start the channel. I'm not going to start the 300 out. I said, man, I'm going to go ahead and get down to business because we need to preview this card. We need to go over it, man. And I think that you are going to be pleasantly surprised by the entirety of the card. This might be the sleeper card of the summer. In the undercard, it features rising talents, somebody I'm going to highlight, and a proven contender, man. My God, he's back. I'm glad to see it, man. In the main event, it showcases elite technique and relentless pressure. And that would be Lamont Roach and William Zepeda, the Reaper versus Cameroon. I was going to say the Roach versus the Zapatos, but I wanted to do right by that name, man. I like both of them, and we're going to get into our predictions. Hopefully, people are going to draw their line in the sand. And this is all based on everything I say is based on the fact that everybody's going to make weight. Whenever somebody miss weight, all of my predictions, all of my input, all of that stuff goes out the window. I've been there before, like with that Tevin Farmer. Woo! I called it, and then I seen that he missed weight. I said, hey, I had to come back out and say, look, man, all bets is off. He missed weight. Hey, I don't know what that's the indication of, but Ixnay on the Ixnay, you know what I'm talking about. So, D Calico, salute. What's happening, bruv? Long time no see, but I'm glad to see you back, man. And with no further ado, I got my main apple Scrapple AC in the building. How you
Was
feeling, AC?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I was looking at the press conference and stuff like that, and yeah, there's some like this card is fire. Um, I like the repercussions of a lot of things that are happening, and it's it's a good card for boxing. Um, Outside of that, man, yeah, it's the salaciousness. Everybody tuning into the messy over the relevant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like I don't know why, but if this is what moves your algorithm and you're an algorithm creator, you just want to create things that help move the algorithm, not create things that help move the sport, then hey, do your thing. You know, that's the new category I got for these people. They're algorithm creators. They have no interest in the content. It's just whatever moves the algorithm that brings people there and can bring up likes and stuff like that. That's what they're gonna do. So that messy shit in this era is the algorithm movers. So let them have their lives, and we'll be over here talking about the relevant shit.
Word. And salute the Cookie Monster in the building. Salute Cookie Monster. She said, mic check, 1 2 1 2, sounding crystal clear. That's what I like to hear. So I'm excited, man. This is not false motivation. I'm just glad to be able to speak about some things that are developing in this fight that is going to go on in the card, the sleeper card. But I'm kind of excited, man. I'm more excited than I thought I was going to be with the build up, because I think this fight has some major implications. We got Swa in the building. Let me add him. Salute to Swa.
My boy, what's going on? What's up, AC?
What's happening? Salute to you.
Salute, man.
What's good, bro?
Ain't nothing. Making some chicken fajitas, man. I seen y'all was on here cooking. I was like, hey, man, I ain't talked about it in a minute. And we got a fight coming up. Tired of talking about Keyshawn and Devin Haney purse bid. So we got some real shit coming up. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So you be burning it. You be cooking, man. You be cooking it up.
Oh, yeah, man. Hey, wait till a woman is a stomach, man.
I feel you, man. I consider myself a chef in my own right. You know, even though we got a Michelin man here, you know, we got a real chef, but in my kitchen and in the crib, you know what I'm saying, I'll be getting down, you know, when I got the time and all of that, mainly on the weekends.
Yeah, me too. You can't tell me nothing in the kitchen. I might as well be Guy Fieri or Bobby Flay. I might as well be that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I'm glad that you jumped on board. We're gonna have a fun show, man. We're gonna touch on something in the housekeeping, but we hopefully it's touch and go, you know, and we'll get into this card because I got some nutritional value, you know, that I want to put on to the people about some things that's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the housekeeping. Let me see. This right here. Cookie Monster say, hey AC. Number one, Inouye and Bam are negotiating for May 2027. And I'm like, man, these are the guys in a good way. You know, we got some guys that are the gift that keeps on giving in a bad way, like the Bubbleheads, the Desert Storm, which is short for, I ain't gonna tell you what the DS really stand for, but we just gonna go with Desert Storm. You know, he's the gift that keeps on giving, but these guys are the gifts that keep on giving as well. In the fact that Inouye is a monster, man, in his own right. He's a Japanese monster, man. He's always, you know, stepping up. That's why I say, like with those Shockey Fosters, the David Benavidez, him. I'm starting to see Raymond Mortalia. These guys, Abdullah Mason, Brian Norman. You know, I want to see Brian Norman come back out one more again. But these guys are the guys that's always like stepping up and going toward the smoke, not based on a popularity contest, but actually getting in there, aligning themselves with the big names. And the fact that Bam is making his ascension, he's going up through the ranks and he's chasing a monster, a little monster. But I'm excited about that. I thought we were going to be a ways off. I thought they were looking at the end of this year, but I thought they said, you know what? Let's not rush it. We don't know what surprises, what Jack in the Boxes are going to come out. That there are some other things that's brewing. But I'm excited about that fight. That's going to tell me a lot, especially I know Monster, he's saying that if this don't happen, if this fall through for whatever reason, he could find himself at 126. And I'm like, I'm putting up the caution flag because I'm starting to see that he done moved up so many weight classes that it's going to be very dangerous for him at 26. It's going to be very dangerous for him at 26. And I don't care who it is at 26 because a lot of them guys got some thump. They underrated. But I think that this right here is pretty much the perfect storm. This is what boxing. These guys are trailblazing the sport, and because they're little guys fighting at little weights, they don't really carry a lot of the cachet of the conversation. Everybody wants to sit around and talk about the same thing all day, every day. But we got a real one coming up, man, and then you got to cross our fingers to the boxing gods that this one gets across the line because that's going to be a banger. You know what I'm saying? Bam is one of my guys. I don't do a lot of content on him because I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Those guys that be affiliated with Snack and all of that, maybe I could fall back now that, somebody, checked out, maybe I can do that. But like I said, I ain't going to be a hypocrite like everybody else and be pointing fingers at this guy for being on Snack and not point fingers at that guy. But Bam is one of my guys. He's in my boxes to watch. I call him the mechanic, meaning that he's an assassin, and meaning that no matter how he can do it, he can get in there and get you in many various ways. That man being there on skates, smooth. You know what I'm saying? I love his style. And that's going to be the battle between me and my father-in-law. My father-in-law is a huge Inouye fan. I used to do a lot of content on Inouye, but then I said, you know what? With all of the media and how they're going about things, I gave myself permission to be selfish about our American boxers. Even though I still have my eye on guys out there, I just think that so many people are taking a psst in the community lake, putting that bad stuff in. I got to focus on the community lake and put the good stuff in and be more guarded, but more supportive about the American boxers and the guys that's really moving the needle. That's why I got away from doing things on Inouye. He don't really need me to up him, but I got a lot of videos. They got a lot of views, and a lot of people used to know my content from all of the pieces I used to do on Inouye and Sabril Matias. But I said, you know what? Let me reel it back in, get back down to my American boxing and try to like combat some of the negativity surrounding us and actually move the needle in a good way. So I love this fight. So it's gonna be me against my father-in-law because I'm a Bam guy, he's an Inouye guy, even though I like them both. And it's really made the best man win. It's just I'm a Bam guy, he's an Inouye guy at our core, you know what I'm saying? So I know we're gonna draw the line in the sand, and anything can happen in that fight. Bam can figure out that, hey, I jumped up and I bit off more than I can chew. I think his skill set would allow, but it's all going to be in how he put the weight on. He's a consummate professional. And then, Inouye, you can't sleep on him, man. Inouye got some quick hands. He's explosive. He's a student of the game. And that's going to be a real scrap. That's going to be a real scrap. Let me see what these comments are talking about. Top Rank won the purse bid. Bob Aaron bid at 8.5. Devin Haney versus Kiss Yawn. Trini, the mechanic. I like that. Salute Bodywork. Salute Channel Impact. Salute Trini. Salute, man. Yeah, we're gonna cook, man. We're gonna cook. So if you want the link, just let me know, man. I can put it out there. But that's housekeeping number one, man. I'm excited about that fight, man. That's something to look forward to, even though it's a little ways out. But they still are setting the path for how these boxers should be moving. Number two, Gary Antoine Russell and Oscar Duarte are in early talks, and I think they looking at something for the fall. And I was like, Duarte, yeah, it's like, but then I said, you know what? Yeah, I like it. Why? Because that was Richardson Hitchens' work. right? So who else other than one of my other guys, Gary Antoine, the 40 cal? You know what I'm saying? I call him the butcher in my boxes to watch. You know, sometimes it look ugly, but he was slice and dice, and he's brutal. Got a very, very high knockout ratio. Only a couple people survive. Puello, El Rayo, and Puello and El Rayo. They survive. And of course, that monster of a man in Hirioka, who nobody's ringing his doorbell, knocking on his door wanting that smoke. But those are the only 3 guys that really survived against Gary Antoine Russell, man. So we got to put some respect on Gary Antoine Russell. I had gave Oscar Duarte the side eye a little bit. It wasn't his fault that Richardson Hitchens did what he did, because Richardson Hitchens made weight the night before, right? They was under the IBF. He made weight the next morning, and then between him making weight and the time the fight was supposed to go on, he bowed out. And he said he got sick. Then he later on came back and said it was the money, and then he, it was a plethora of excuses he used. And I'm like, by humbug. But I was looking at Duarte like, okay, cool, but they gonna put you in that spot for that IBF. But I'm gonna tell y'all, man, that IBF belt, it got some truth serum in it. The reason why I respect the IBF is because I think that if all of them did it, and it might not have to be 10, it could be, I think 10 may be an extreme, but I think the happy medium is 12. And the WBA was doing that, and I don't know if they got away from it, but it was the rehydration of 10 pounds. I think maybe 12 or 15 is probably the sweet spot. Anything more than that is like, come on, man, you need to be in a different weight class. So Duarte was going to be next up for the IBF, and he was like, nah, I'm not getting in that line. I'm not going for that no more. So to hear that he's actually going for Gary Antoine, who got that WBA, I'm like, okay, I like it. Duarte was coming on, he pieced up Kenneth Sims. I expected more from Kenneth Sims, but Kenneth Sims didn't show that it was really levels when it came down to him against Duarte. So he didn't really do what I thought he did. I thought it was a little closer than what the scorecard said. But and that happened in Chicago. So I was just like, man, you got to show out, man. You got to sell out. You got to crank it up, man. You can't crank up the volume, but you can't let nobody come in your backyard, you know what I'm saying, and spank you, But I like that fight as well. And I like it for Gary Antoine to stay active, because when it comes to unifications, the people are not really calling out Gary Antoine. And it's been like that. Him and Richard Hitchens had been at 140 for the longest. They were the most tenured. T.O. had been the most accomplished. And yeah, Gary Antoine, you can argue that he really beat Puello. I thought Puello edged him, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be biased, even though, like, Gary Antoine my guy. But I like Puello, too. 140 is my division. So anything that's moving, and, you know what I'm saying, especially when it comes down to a title defense, anybody going for the title, I see Tito Mercado out here, you know what I'm saying, talking his noise, 140 is that division. I think it's the highest division in boxing. It's just these guys got to mix it up. And a lot of people are tiptoeing up past it, going to 47, coming up, drinking some water, and then trying to dip back down to 35, playing all kind of silly games. And we know why, because it's real smoke. We just waiting in the, we got Alberto Puello, challenging Dalton Smith for that strap that really was his. I thought he retained that strap with Sabril, but Sabril wound up getting knocked out by Dalton. Dalton Smith and Puello was getting ready to get it on earlier this year, and they going to circle the block because he had some kind of elbow injury or something. Dalton Smith did, and so we're waiting on that. So things are heating up, y'all, and I like it. It's early talk, so it's nothing etched in stone. Once again, we got to put out some positive energy to the boxing guys that this one gets across the line as well. But I like it for Gary Antoine to stay busy, for us to get a true barometer of what kind of guy Duarte is. He's a pressure guy, throws a lot of punches, pretty strong. I don't know about power, you know what I'm saying, like striking power, but he got like brute force and strength. Like he's almost like, if I would compare it to like Rolly, kind of Rolly power, like where it's like, yeah, he catch you with some shit, you gonna know you've been hit because he got some hot shit in the midst. But I like that fight, man. So let's put some positive vibes out there, man. And Gary Antoine, man, when he do come out, I think some of the things he say get skewed, and sometimes they weaponize the Russells. They get them to say certain things and they run with it. But outside of like, they always mention as an afterthought when they really should be a forethought. And also, I seen Gary Antonio Russell training again. He had put on the most devastating. One day I'm gonna play this clip for y'all. He put on one of the most devastating combinations I've ever seen in my life. I thought he broke dude's neck. Like I got a clip that I played for him, but he had a setback, and he's getting back active. And I think it's saying that Gary Antonio Russell. So we got Mr. Gary Russell. That's the one that everybody know. Fastest hands in boxing, the longest reigning champ, 6 years, 352 days. Got ducked by damn near everybody down there in 126. You know what I'm saying? I think he really beat Loma because they didn't count the drop. You would count the drop, it was at least a draw. You could have edged Gary Russell, and he had to cut 5 pounds the night before. Well, you got him, then you got Gary Antoine, then you got Gary Antonio. Gary Antonio was the smaller one. He fight down the lower divisions. He had dreams of anyway, but you know, Emmanuel Rodriguez had other plans. He had a setback. I think he got injured, but it's good to see him back, man. Nice hands. They all southpaws, so he's coming back on the 22nd. That's Gary Antonio. But I wanted to talk about that. The last one, man, number 3. Dev and Key purse bid done. Now what? And we got some head scratching, and I'm looking at it like, just watching this major channel today and how everybody was acting like, oh man, this is the second highest purse bid in history and all. I'm like, man, y'all are celebrating the wrong things. And remember, I told y'all, it's only a win if we get to fight, y'all. So we can do all the shenanigans, all of this, and then they saying that it's going to be in the fall. Like, we're looking at October, November. I'm like, so we going through all this. Can y'all imagine sitting around talking about this shit? We just now getting ready to touch August on Saturday. So we got all of September, then we got October, then November, another 3 months, another 90 plus days just talking about this. Can y'all imagine that? I can't. You know, I think that it revealed a lot, and I'll open up the floor to everybody, but that's really the housekeeping, and we can start wherever y'all want to start.
Hey, go ahead, AC.
Well, basically, I'll start with Inoue and Bam. I think it's a good fight. It's always had interesting dynamic because both of them have been put down on the canvas before, so it says that dynamic might be an interesting play if either one of them are able to knock the other down and steal a fight just because of that knockdown. So that's going to be interesting if the fight is close and, you know, if it gets across the line and get made and everything. Yeah, 2027. Yeah, I kind of dig the date, but I guess either one of them are going to showcase a fight before they make this big fight to try to build it up even more, and then have like good highlight reels of that can work on recency biasness to help drive the conversation, which then help build the fight, which then move the needle, as you know, some of the algorithm creators do. But for the content creators, we're gonna break down the fight, you know, and give different aspects of it, and bring different things up. So it's the type of thing that's going to give enough material for everybody, no matter where you are in a spectrum of social media. Gary Russell and Duarte. Yeah, I guess I kind of had the same reaction, like, but then when you think about it, it's like, okay, there might be some meat on the bone there, but as far as me looking at the fight and looking at things that are recency bias, if I'm going to use that in any sort of manner to help me or look at it to try to guide my decision, then hands down I'm going to be heavy on Gary Antoine. So, because the last, if my memory serves me correct, Duarte's last performance, it looked suspect. It was like, what? And
yeah.
that, I believe we was talking like bro, I know Hitchens got to be kicking himself in the head. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have been good for you, but whatever that reason was, I don't know, bro. So recency bias in terms of that is gonna uh, weigh heavily when I look at the two fighters. You know, because recency bias had me looking at Gary Russell and uh, and Andy Hirioka and questioning myself like, could these be the best two guys at 140 scrapping it out right now, despite the visa issue and whatever. When we got to a fight, it was one of the most entertaining things you could look at. So um, that's where I'm at with that. I don't know. This might be a tough opponent, but a spotlight fight for Gary Antoine. Like the type of fight he may need to get people to like really, really notice him. Yeah, it's not the biggest name out there, but we know the threat level. And that's the type of thing that, might be his breakout fight. It may not, like, if everything went well with Andy Hirioka, I think that fight could have been a breakout fight. But the issues and stuff like that, the visa issues, I think that took away from it. With this fight, the recency bias on Duarte and Gary Antoine's last performance, this might be his breakout fight at 140 that puts him in the front runner category as the guys to really take over the division. So we'll just see how that goes, and we'll look at his performance. But I think that this is a critical fight for him. Duarte, you fuck around and beat him, bruh. You feel what I'm saying? But for Gary, this is your spotlight fight to let everybody know, to put the rest of the division and everybody out there like, yeah, Gary Antoine is the guy at 140. So that's just my take in the way I'm feeling about this right now. Dev versus Keyshawn's purse bid. Again, for me, I wanted to see what Devin Haney was going to do. Was what it was for DHP promotion. You have an opportunity here to really, really flex, and you sat this one out. Me and Body was talking offline, and I was like, "Yo, I finally came to like maybe a realization or just a weird ass thought that the Teofimo purse bid, like what the fuck was behind that? Like for me, I started laughing about it, and then I started really thinking about it. Like, what if they did do that? Like, what if Teofimo Lopez and Rolly Romero got together, pooled their money together, and said, "Yeah, we gonna try to buy this fight if this shit come down, if things look a certain way." And for me, I was just like, "Wow, that's pretty funny." There, you know what I'm saying? If that was something that really happened. Now I got on my, with me saying that, I got on my conspiracy theory hat, my big aluminum foil hat, and I'm just like dropping that conspiracy theory. But it's about the only thing that I could really think of that makes sense. Like, that's a troll move. That's a real troll move. And it just shows, for me, the failure where people are trying to say it's the failure of Keyshawn, but it's also the failure of Devin Haney. Like, they both have to go into that because there was nothing there. So whatever those details finally are with the October thing, with the dates involved in the October thing, then you have until November to negotiate. I'm like, what? Like, the details are just so sketchy that it just leaves room for somebody to walk away and leave the talking points of, well, it was this and it was that, and then we could drag this thing out for more fodder in the social media space to really see if this fight got meat on the bone. you know. And if people are just jumping out the window, oh, it's the second highest purse bid. So fucking what? That's not a good thing. For real, for real. That's like, how are you guys trying to land in that field? Like that's a very dangerous field to try to land in when you're dealing with, you know, not casual fans, but you know, diehard fans that pull up on panels, that talk on panels. If they're not trying to be algorithm people, if they just want to be real people and have a real conversation, then that shit don't fly. No part of that this purse bid flies. The mere fact that it was aired or televised or however the case may be, then there's only two bids on it. You know, and I seen one thing that was like top rank and Devin Haney wins purse bid. I'm like, top rank and Devin Haney.
Right.
Like, what
That's
part
what
of
my head too.
Yeah, I was like, what part of Devin Haney won that purse bid? What the fuck? And I was just like, yeah, we are in this weird ass era. And you know, I'll just say the rest of what I have to say until we start to talk, because I was about to dwell into something else. But at the end of the day, this purse bid thing is just weird for me from start to finish. And it's like, okay, I thought when you have purse bids, it's supposed to give us a concrete conclusion. This is the date. They won the fight. This is the venue. This is what's going to happen. And all it did was leave options that are like, nah, So, with that being said, that's where I'll land that plane.
Good stuff.
Man. Hey, both of y'all cook, man. Hey, this is a hell of a lineup for housekeeping, man. I really appreciate these topics. Yo, Inway and Bam. Hey, man, look, lightweights don't get that, you know, just in the lower weight classes, man. They don't really get bangers like this. Like, it don't happen a lot. And I think with both guys, they both have a similar journey. Like, both of them start off at 108. You know, Bam going up to fight Monster. I like both guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like Bam, he just one of them ones for me. You know, Inway is too. I mean, what he did to Stephen Fulton, that kind of woke me up to him, because I kind of heard about him and I looked at him a little bit, kind of seen him here and there. But what I saw him do to Fulton, he can hang with the best of them. It ain't just because he in Japan. Like Inway got hands, man. He know how to get in there. He can box you. He can scrap with you, got good head movement, and he got heart. I mean, he been on the canvas to get back up and pull it out and win. Oh, and then I saw him fight against Nito Donaire. That was a good fight too, especially the first one. But just with that being said, I think both of them got a similar journey. Bam he taking smoke, and he moving up weight classes, and now he with Inway, man. That's been something on my mind. And a lot of people I talked to in boxing, I'm sure for y'all, like, what would that be like? Like, who would come out on top? Like, who going to outthink each other? But man, the footwork from both of them is beautiful. It's gonna be something to watch. Like, I don't even have somebody that I'm pulling for like more than the other right now. I don't really have a prediction, but it's just gonna be something to watch them little guys, just with the footwork, punch placement, IQ. Even hard, because they, you know, both of them, they can knock each other down, or get one of them out. But I don't know. Like I'm excited for this one. I'm really excited for this one, just for casual fans who, you know, a lot of times you don't really hear about the little guys, but man, these one of them twos, you definitely want to pay attention to them. My biggest question when it come to that, because y'all cooked on a lot when it came to that. My biggest question: where they gonna hold the venue at? I don't really want to. Is Inway gonna come to the States? Is Bam gonna go to Japan? I think the location is gonna be something. It's gonna be a real big part of the negotiations. I really do. Hopefully they can come to a conclusion, but that's gonna be my biggest question: like where they gonna hold it at, and who gonna feel comfortable with going where. So I'm just gonna stay locked in with it. But I hope that lock in. That's gonna be a classic. That's gonna be a beautiful one for boxing. Gary Antoine Watson and Duarte. Gary, my biggest thing always with Gary Antoine is you don't stay active enough to keep your name in the mix. You'll have a good performance and pull it off, or even have one of them fights that's just a straight out war, but then you won't hear from him. You know, and that's the only thing with Gary Antoine for me is that just the activity. Like, you got to stay active, man. Like, you 30, like you know it's time to put the pedal to the metal, man, and just stay busy, and then you know get one of them big fights. But I mean, it's no doubt that Gary Antoine, he step on shit. He do. I mean, he lost I think Puello, but I think he just let off the gas at the end because you know it was kind of neck and neck all the way up until the end, and then Gary, you know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Duarte, Duarte, he stay busy. He do stay busy. I didn't like the fact that what happened with him in Africa. I didn't like that, you know. But I got my criticism toward Africa. But you know, anyway, that fell through. But I think Russell's supposed to stop him. He's supposed to stop Duarte. Reason why, Duarte is a come forward fighter, and he, you know, Mexican fighter. He come forward and he's gonna put out a lot of punches, but he gonna be right there. With Gary Antoine, I believe that he should stop him. I believe it's the time to just really showcase what you're good at. Give us a little bit of everything, but I hope that go through. I'm not over the hill excited about it, but would I watch it? Absolutely. Devin and Keith Purse. I've been talking about now. From what I'm hearing, that Keyshawn he got 48 hours to reply to it. You know, just what I'm hearing through the or even that's what they said in the purse bid live. So I guess he got 48 hours to respond to it. I think that it showed a lot about each other, Devin and Keyshawn's value. It was only I'm with AC when he said it. I start laughing when I heard Takeover. I bust out laughing. I was like, boy, that boy is something else. He just gonna stay in the mix. Ain't no way they gonna take no $2.3 million. like I think he did that just to show that Devin ain't really got nobody pushing for. I don't know. Anyway. But now that it's over, I think Keyshawn need to go ahead and take it. I mean, because you already short 800,000, 900,000. I mean, than what you would have got the word through the grapevine. But man, you even blessed to even be in this position, man. You woke, like he said, you woke up and got you saw that you was a mandatory. Like that mean that you didn't even think that shit was gonna happen. So for you to be here, then to go to purse bid, I think that was a little diva-ish. I do, you know. But now that the purse bid is over, Top Rank got it, 8.55 million, split between two, 75-25. Devin got 6+. Keyshawn got 2+. Make it happen, man. But I'm gonna be interested to see if Keyshawn come out and decline that offer, because he's gonna lose that mandatory title, and he probably gonna suffer in the rankings for that too, if you know, depending on that. But it's gonna be interesting. Next 48 hours gonna be interesting. That's why I landed right there. That's it. Oh, I think I see. Yo, AC. What the hell, where y'all at?
I'm right here. What happened?
Okay. No, I think Body said he had to do something real quick.
Oh, all right.
No, it's all good. Hey, man. Yo, because I heard you say that earlier, AC. Yo, Teofimo is a fool, man. I can't believe he even put that up as a purse bid.
Word. That's what I was like. I looked at it and was like, when they said it, it paused me for a second. I was like, wait a minute. where have I heard that name before?
Me too.
I was like, wait a minute, why that sound so familiar? And I was takeover promotion, and I almost was about to relate it to the promotion that was behind the Zuffa thing, and I was like, no, that's Tio. Oh my God, no, nigga did not.
Me too.
Tio, what the hell, bruh?
Me too. Yo, that said a lot about like and it ain't about bashing Dev or whatever, but man, with Takeover, which was trolling basically, and
Yeah.
Top Rank being the only ones in the purse bid, man, that says a lot about your market.
That's what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I was saying. Now,
a lot.
And before when you were saying kind of devious, I was trying to take the high road because I've been a little cayenne pepper with Keyshawn, but I am seeing it now. I'm like, look, bro, if you don't take this, first of all, you already lost some ground. And to me, it looked like the play was to really just try to have Devin drop that belt. Like, that's really what it was. It was really like, now it's almost looking like y'all was pump faking. Because I'm like, because AC was telling me, he was filling me and saying the first one was like 1.5. And I think that's equivalent or a little bit more than what he made his highest payday before. Then they doubled it to 3. I'm like, what is the problem there? Like this whole I'm a star stuff and I'm this, it's like, bro, you done missed weight twice.
Man.
You blew your weight. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get the De La Santos. You got favored. You got highly favored because I'm like, I heard people actually justifying why he should be at number 1 at welterweight in that division. I'm like, hold on. He had got a championship strap 2 weight classes below and lost it. Like he only fought Jermaine Ortiz and Nair Albright at 40. So it's like you are in a privileged position. So now I am starting to see more of the diva type. Now I'm really, because I was saying it, I said let me lay off of him because I didn't want people to think every time he come up I got something bad to say. But I'm like, yeah, you kind of looking like a diva, and if you don't respond right in these 48 hours and you go do something else, I told y'all what I was gonna call him. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again. Say it for the people.
Little Aaron Jones. Yeah, UPU. SSY, man. That's what you would be. And to AC's point, what did he say? He said, oh yeah, I was scratching my head when they said Devin Haney. I seen a thumbnail, I think it was on Instagram. They said Top Rank, Devin Haney along with Top Rank 1. I'm like, hold on, so how did they win Devin Haney and Top Rank and he got to deal with the zone? Like, I know the zone is the platform, but I'm like, how? Like, I don't get it. Man. This is looking kind of messy, man. But the way people were celebrating, it's the second highest purse bid. It's like, no, dummies, because it comes back around to what AC said last week when we cooked on this. He was basically saying Devin needed to go ahead and put on his promoter cap, and it was a tricky line. It was a tricky line because if Keyshawn didn't accept the 3, the bid had to be high enough to meet his minimum, like to meet whatever Keyshawn wanted, right? Or it had to be high enough to meet that, but low enough where if he took over that fight and then promoted himself, he could make a profit, like what DF was saying, like pretty much. So like having it go high, that was like awkward anyway because people don't bid high on purse bid. It's like if you can go in there and snatch up, like if Tio would have got it for that amount, Tio would have broke. He would have came off like a fat rat if he would have built the card and promoted it right. He would have came out. So I'm like, if Devin had that kind of money, if Devin Haney and Top Rank, which I think is really like for the optics, that was really an optics play to make the optics and the masses say, oh man, look, he's doing big things. It's like, you're not doing big things because it should never got to a purse bid. You know what I'm saying? So it's just messy.
Yeah, it's messy in all the places it shouldn't be messy.
I'm telling you.
Like, nah. Nope. So at the end of the day, man, that whole situation was just hilarious to me. Well, it is hilarious to me, and it's just I'm just waiting. For me, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. I don't know who's gonna walk away from the fight. I don't know what weird thing's gonna happen in between, but I would like the fight to get across the line, but I'm extra skeptical right now.
Yeah, me too. I think Keyshawn gonna. He's such a and like Body was saying, man. Look, I ain't trying to be on the young cat, man. I try to be fair, you know, but that's a diva move, man. Because my thing is sometimes your skill set, your mouth can overshadow your skill set, and just by you doing this, man. He call himself the businessman, but you don't think them other promoters looking at how you handling this situation when you got blessed to be a mandatory because you didn't earn that. So he got to make better decisions, man. He just you end up getting less than what you was gonna get, but it's bigger than that. It's like who does this dude think he is and think that he gonna be able to mandate something? Like, are we giving the wrong person the right opportunity? He just make it hard to negotiate anyway. But nah, that I don't keep. Man, anyway, we keep going on with that one.
Yeah, this would be a good segue because I didn't want to beat this up. I just wanted to touch on it, but it'd be a good segue. I was thinking, man, sometimes some of these guys need to change their names around because I seen an interview with Raymond Muay the other day, and people was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is just so serious, and he's so blah blah blah, and he's so this and that." I'm like, well, you gotta look at who he's fighting and how he's pursuing the smoke. He just got pretty much that was Keyshawn work, Andy Cruz. Then he's moving forward. He getting ready, getting experienced. Robson Casasio, who got like a great resume when you really look at it, when you go through it, and we're gonna get there. But like, I was just thinking, okay, he's about business because even when you look at the people that sit down interviewing him and all that, he's not into all of like when you ask him about other fights and all that, he'll be like, yeah, that's 50-50, or I don't really have nothing to say about that. He tried to stay away from all of that. They be trying to pull him in, but he's really like a businessman. Like he's really like, look, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about this guy I got in front of me. Then it's on the bigger and better things. Now, if you talk about Shakur or something, like, yeah, he'll answer a question because he was in pursuit of that fight. He wanted that fight. But if it's about real smoke and involving him, he's all for it. But all that other stuff, he downplays it. He's like, nah, man, I ain't here for that. Like, really, I don't really get into that. And I'm like, that's a business, man.
Yeah,
because he's about the business, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, sometimes these guys should change their names around, you know, because he's Raymond Danger, but he's really like a businessman because he's strictly business. Like he don't care about all that fluff, all that other shit. He want the smoke. He want to, yeah, I'm excited about this fight and blah blah. You ask him about this fight, he'll open up about that. But the outside of that, he's like, nah, I ain't trying to get into that. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, Raymond don't play, man. You can even see when they walk in, like with like Fight Hype and like people going there to the gym. Ray don't even go he don't even go over there. And even when they do go over there to him, Ray can say like 3 words. He don't be playing, man.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, let's just see where all of this stuff land and see who got what. Body, your mic is good?
Yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, so we can segue. We can segue, man. We can segue into the meat and potatoes, man, and get into the card. I'm excited about this card. When I was looking at it and I started seeing, you know, all of the undercard and all, I said, man, people are really sleeping on this card. I've seen some people go over the card, but I didn't really watch that much of it. Mainly the Haney voice. I saw a little bit of what they had going on, but I said, nah, I don't want to get tainted by what nobody else say about it. Sometimes I'll do that. If you talk about something, I don't want to get tainted by it, so I don't even watch it or whatever. Salute the OG Cavs in the building. And let me see. Let me try to catch. Aaron Jones, he said, I don't care what nobody say. Blame his big brothers, Bud and Andre. Yeah, I don't. It surprised me. It shocks me. I've seen something from Tim Bradley. where he was saying, "No, now Key, you gotta take this fight. You gotta," but he's a flip flopper. He's a flip flopper. And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna look real bad. That's why I say sometimes people be in a mess hall with their chest out for their favorite fighters saying all this stuff, but their favorite fighters don't feel that way. Or at least the behavior, or as they say in the hood, the handshake ain't matching the style, ain't matching the smile. It's foul. Like, they don't be as brazen as they are, like by action. They say all this stuff, man, all this media stuff, all this social media wars and Twitter fingers, and then when it come down to it, they find a way to wiggle out, and they fan base justify it. And I'll just be sitting there like, man, bro, like, people are like real hypocrites out here. That's because these boxers know the media be meat riding for clicks and views. Sean Zettel, yeah, man, like, that's why I said, the same way I said I'm not going to be giving these guys no attention. Only reason why I put this in there, because I knew I could bookend it. I could get in and get out on this and then be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody come up and talk about it in passing. But I said, look, we're not going to be giving these guys no attention. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm starting to do that with these other guys that create, that do interviews and all that, man. If you always on some BS, man, and I know what you're doing, you're just doing it to rile up people and to stir something up, I'm not giving you no attention. I'm not even going to source your material. I'm not even going to use it no more. Why? Because that's, in a roundabout way, that's me saying, okay, what you're doing is fine. Why? Because I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to do this. It's like, we got to nip all this in the bud. Because I learned this a long time ago. What you don't feed can't grow. But we keep feeding into things. So think about that, y'all. You know, if you start, like I'm telling you, if you could be disciplined enough, right, to not feed in, to not click, to not look, to not even, you know, provide your energy to some of these things, it'll stop growing. Or they'll be like, hold on, man, why I'm not getting the traction? It's because, you know, people are wising up. So I'm about to stop. I'm about to stop giving my attention to these people that do that, because I know what they be doing. It's just like, and this is the last thing before I really transition to the meat and potatoes. It's just like all of the things that they were saying about Tank. You know what I'm saying? Like everything and all this. It's like they say all these things. It's like no matter what, Conor Ben is giving his opinion. I seen a headline where it says Conor Ben was giving his opinion on Tank's chances to beat Loma. I'm like, why would you be asking Conor Ben? And Loma ain't even got back yet, but you using Tank. It's like everybody want to use his name to promote their fight. To if they got a fight coming up, like Hitchens was doing it before his fight. He used his name after the fight. It's like you over there on Zuffa, you have no plan. Dana White used his name. It's like, why are you using the dude? So you'll say, oh, he ain't in there, he don't fight nobody. But everybody could have used his name. It's like, and when they start doing that, we need to start paying them no attention. That's what we need to start doing. We need to start being disciplined and saying, look, I'm not giving these people my attention. Nope, you're not getting my like, you're not getting my view. I'm not hyping your video. I'm not bringing it up on no panel. It's like, let's start shutting these motherfuckers down. You know what I'm saying? Because I say silence is consent. So if you're going to say something, make sure you're saying the right thing. But also, what you don't feed can't grow. And let me get into the, unless y'all got something. Anybody got something before I get into the meat and potatoes? You good?
Nah, you cool.
Okay. All right. Well, let me take this down. And let's talk about this sleeper card, man. Let's see. Let me get something here. You pull this up right here. So Ace is wild, man. This is a lit fire card, man. And I wanted to preview it because I don't think it's really getting this justice. Now, you know, I don't think yeah, what you feed can't grow. Yep. Hey, AJ. But I think, you know, I don't know if anybody look at Roach like a world beater or Zepeda like a world beater. Like, they keep harping on the fact that Lamont got the draws, all right? So that's clearly an indication that he's not doing enough to get the judges to side with him, even though fans can see and make their judgment and say, okay, you really won. You really won. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You won. You didn't get it. But maybe next time, we didn't know that he was going to try to fight Pitbull in a manner, and his father was pissed. William Zepeda, I think he had more of his culture was his backing. We can argue that Tevin Farmer really beat him in that first one, dropped him and everything, and they pickpocketed Tevin Farmer. They wasn't going to let a guy especially coming off the loss to Morataya. He got edged out by Morataya. Then he come in with William. He dropped him, and he get pickpocketed on the scorecard, right? And then he come back. He double back. He take him down there to Mexico, and he sharks his body. And Tevin Farmer, like, he hurt himself. Tevin Farmer, like, he was on the verge of getting stopped, but he's a soldier because he toughed all the way through that. And then Tevin Farmer ultimately went in there with Kid Schofield and got his lights put out in like 2 minutes. So that's the deal on them two. But what I think people are missing is there is a fire undercard to go to this, right? And remember how we always been saying, let's start talking about these new guys. Let's talk about these new guys. Like, find your favorite fighters. Well, the welterweight division is getting ready to start bubbling. Why? Because people from 40 are migrating into 47, right? Some people that are fearful to go to 54 are staying put at 47 until somebody else move up from 54 to 47. Some of them guys move up, then you'll see an influx to 54. Well, there's one guy right here. I seen this guy, and he's nice, but let's get down to the nutritional value. Now we look backwards, but I wanted to start with the lower guys. That's why he's number one. Some of the guys that piqued my interest, right? I want to start with these lower guys and then work our way up to the major card. You know what I'm saying? Save the best for last. But this guy, his name is Joel Iriarte, right? He's from Bakersfield, California, same place that Ryan Garcia is from. The guy is 10-0 with 9 knockouts. They got his height and his reach off on here, but his height is he's really 6'1", about 6'1", with a 74-inch arm reach. He got power, so he's stopping 9 out of 10 guys. Undefeated, orthodox fighter. He got an elite amateur pedigree. He got excellent fundamentals. He's sharp with his combinations. He got an advanced ring IQ. This dude is a smooth operator. He's calm under pressure. He don't get all wild, and he got a high offensive output. Like, he can really put them hands on you. You know what I'm saying? He's like, when I saw him a couple times. See, OG Cash, he know this OG Cash right here. Y'all see what he said? Iriarte is the real thing. This dude is a smooth operator, man. I was like, man, when I said, when I first saw him, I said, who is this guy? This will be my third time watching him, catching him on the card and watching him outside of like his highlight, trying to find highlights and stuff on it. But he's nice. You know what I'm saying? He got limited veteran experience, but he's still developing pro power. That's the scary part. He's 10-0 with 9 knockouts, and he's still developing his power. He's only 23 years old, and he just needs rounds against elite competition. But he has the tools to become tomorrow's top contender. That's Joel Iriarte. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I haven't came up with a name for him yet because I'm still in my grading phase. I put boxers in a grading phase, right? I got to see you against certain styles. Like, I got to see you against that armadillo style. That'll tell me a lot. I got to see you against a former champ. I got to see you against a guy that's going to make you look ugly, like a Sean Porter style, where like you might win, but it's going to look ugly. You know what I'm saying? I got to see you, and body work. You know what I'm saying? If you do that body work, you kind of already scratching the surface. You got me. You got my attention when you do that. This guy can do it, man. So I look forward to him. He's on this undercard. And this is only his second 8-rounder. So think about it, y'all. See, when you look at, like, I use my guy Tank. A couple guys survived with Tank, right? But he got a 93.33% knockout ratio. One of them guys survived when he was back doing, I think he was doing a 6-rounder. But you already know that would have went 8, 10, 12. He probably would have got him out of there. But for this guy to be 10-0 with 9 knockouts, and this is only his second 8-rounder, and he's starting to step it up. Now the guys that he's fighting, they're not world beaters, but they have a lot of wins. Like, the first couple, 2 or 3, saying they kind of be even Steven. But these guys have a bunch of wins. They got losses, but they got a bunch of wins on their record. So these guys are accustomed to winning. And he's starting to crank it up, but he's only in his second 8-rounder. So he got plenty of time, but he's in the glamour division. This is what I'm talking about. When you start off in that division, you can already know this guy's going to probably be that guy at 47, or he's really going to be that guy at 54, depending on, because he's 23. He might have a growth spurt. He might pull an old Jahad Tucker, where Jahad was a welterweight. and he had to jump all the way up. You know what I'm saying? So look out for that guy, man. He's on the card. Number two. Charles Conwell. That's a guy that me and AC were very high on. We've been watching him. I kind of think he was getting a bad shake like a lot of them guys over there at Golden Boy. You know, especially the guys that look like me. You know what I'm saying? They kind of get shelved a little bit. You know, we had the Blair the Flair, we had Speedy Rashidi, we had Charles Conwell. For whatever reason, them guys, because it was Golden Boy. And I know Oscar ain't like that. He had B-Hop over there, and I had the privilege of sitting down with Blair Cobbs one time, and I asked him, I was like, well, what is B-Hop doing? He was like, man, B-Hop ain't doing shit. And that hurt my heart because I love B-Hop. But I'm like, maybe his hands is tied. I don't know. But Schofield, look at what's going on with him. It's like he's prairie dogging it. He's poking his head out and going back. Like, y'all call that prairie dogging. We don't know what the fuck Schofield is. Was Tevin Farmer spilled milk or aged milk? Or what was that? Was he not prepared? Did he underestimate? We don't know. But the guy's pullout game is vicious. You know what I'm saying? He pulled out against Shakur. He pulled out against Lucas Body the first time. Well, he pulled out against H2O. He pulled out against H2O. Yeah, he pulled out against H2O. He pulled out against Shakur. Then he pulled out against JoJo Diaz. All fights to where it's like, besides the Shakur, you know, people were reading that Shakur was going to give him a boxing lesson. But I said that was going to have playback value. Why? Because he had more than a puncher's chance. And we know he got some hot shit in the midst. It's just between him and his father, they want to politic. But that's some of the story with Golden Boy. Charles Conwell fell into that as well. You know what I'm saying? Conwell, y'all, we already know what he's famous for, and I don't think he really like talking about it, but he's the guy who unfortunately sent Patrick Day up. You know, Patrick Day, a lot of people was real high on him, so RIP to him, but he's another Cleveland guy. Charles Conwell's from Cleveland. He's 21-1. He only lost one time to that guy Chino Perez, and it was just, I don't know him. I think he might have had a bad. I don't make no excuses. I'm just looking at observation. I seen Charles Conwell. He do body work, you know what I'm saying. But like, I just think he had a bad night where he kept trying to do the same thing over and over, and he didn't make the adjustments that he needed to make. I don't know if it was his coach was telling him some things, so I can't say it was his coach. I just think he had a bad night at the office. Well, as soon as he lose, that guy Chino Perez wound up going over, and they made a fight for a title with Xander. So Xander got that strap, and then he went unified right away with Abbas Baru. So it was like, had Charles Conwell won, would he have got his shot at Xander? I'm going to lean towards no. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knew that Charles Conwell was high risk, low reward. And Chino Perez happened to pull it off. And Xander kind of made easy work of Chino Perez. So he's 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. He's a 2016 Olympian, an excellent body puncher, heavy-handed combinations, strong pressure, right? Now, the other thing is he's rebounding from his first loss. He had a little bit of inactivity. He can absorb punches pressing forward, and he's trying to regain his title momentum. But guess what? One loss don't erase world-class ability. Charles Conwell is very nice. The thing is, he's fighting up against a guy named Paul Crow, the Punisher. Paul Crow, he's from Philly. And guess what? These guys, they have, now we're gonna see when they stand across from each other, because I remember they had like a tail of the tape, right? And they was saying that Gary Antoine and Alberto Puello, they actually had Gary Antoine taller than Alberto Puello. But when you seen him, Alberto Puello was clearly like an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches taller than Gary Antoine. Well, in this case, they got them both listed at the same height with the same reach. They both 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Paul Crow, he's undefeated. He's 12-0 with 8 knockouts. Right? This might be the fight of the night, y'all. Because they don't call him the Punisher for nothing. Dude is nice. I don't know why he hasn't blown. I don't know what the activity is, whether it's him coming from Philly and, you know, you got one faction that's doing their thing. You got the Fultons, you got Boots, you know what I'm saying? You had Blair, We don't know what was going on with Blair, but like, you know, outside of the Fulton and Boots from Philly, anybody that's in that lineage or whatever, there's nobody really making no noise. This guy Paul Kroll is. So look out for that. So I'm looking forward to Charles Conwell, man. I hope he get back on his right path. I don't know who's gonna win, because inactivity is a real thing, and I hope Charles is motivated. I hope he got his, you know what I'm saying? I hope he got his goggles on straight and he's looking at everything the right way. He caught my attention the way he sets his knockouts up. Yeah, you talking about Ariarte? Yeah, man, that dude. I'm telling y'all, watch that guy on the undercard. But Conwell, we went over Conwell. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my guys. I actually wanted to interview him. I wanted to sit down and talk to him, but he's not really like the type that want to interview, so I ain't really pushed for it like that. But I wanted to sit down and actually, because my guys like the Shakis, the Brian Normans, the Charles Conwells, like those kind of guys, I want to talk to them kind of guys. I don't want to talk to no media darling. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they might not realize that when I sit down and interview them, it's not gonna be coming from a place where I'm trying to catch you with a hot take or use something to go. Nah, it's like, we want to get to know, okay, who is Charles Conwell, and add some things that we don't see from these guys who's trying to be salacious and trying to get these hot takes. So let's move on to Raymond Morataya. Raymond Danger Morataya. He's going up against Robson Conceição. Now, Morataya, he's 24-0 with 17 knockouts. Don't sleep on Morataya's power. Morataya got some hot shit in the midst too. He's 5'8" with a 72-inch arm reach. So Robson Conceição, he's 21-3. But check this out. Robson Conceição, he only lost to Oshaki Foster, Shakur Stevenson, and Oscar Valdez. Think about that. Robson Conceição he probably has one of the best resumes out there going underrated from Brazil. The thing is, he's a little bit long in the tooth. He's like 37, but he's an Olympian as well from Brazil. He's 5'9", so he might be a little taller than that. I don't know why he seems like he's a little taller than that. So yeah, Morataya is dealing with a 1-inch height deficit, but he got him by almost 3 inches. He got him about 2.5 inches. Yeah, it might be more than that as far as the reach. So his strengths, Morataya's strengths, he's undefeated, he's a world champ, he got great timing, he's an accurate counterpuncher, he's technically disciplined, and he calm under pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been one of them people that go in there and defuse bombs, man. Raymond, the way he handled that thing with Cruz, he came out with a stab jab to the stomach, right? And that set the tone. And some people say that fight was a lot closer than what, you know what I'm saying, it was. You know what I'm saying? There were things you could pick and choose from Andy Cruz. If Andy Cruz had more power, you know what I'm saying, maybe it could have been a little bit different. But everybody was looking at Morataya's face after that fight, because he was in that high guard. That same thing that happened with Tank when he was going up against Frank. When you're in that high guard and people are punching on your gloves, your own gloves are hitting you in the face. So some of that was that, where he was catching some of those. But Andy Cruz did tee off on him. I just don't think at 35, Andy Cruz didn't have the kind of power that he's shown that he has at 30. You know what I'm saying? He do have a little bit more power at 30, because he's not that big of a guy, and he's in impeccable shape. The areas to watch for Morataya is he need more marquee wins, but I think he's on his way. His resume is bubbling on the low, and he has an excellent amateur pedigree as well, because he faced some of them guys, Ryans and some of these guys. They all in the same age range. That's how they know. These guys know each other. So he was around fighting just like Tito Mercado. They all know each other from the amateurs. They all in and around the same weight class. I mean, age group, that same bracket to where they came across. But he wins with efficiency and not flash. That's probably the only thing people say, like, it's not really no real flash. But he got Robert Garcia as well, who in that corner, you know what I'm saying, Robert Garcia is the truth. So I look forward to Raymond Mortai and Robson Conceição. If Robson Conceição didn't get old overnight, he can surprise you. You know what I'm saying? He got a little, Robert Conceição, he got a little flair to him. You know what I'm saying? He'll crank up the volume. He'll put a little FU on his punches every now and again. And he got that veteran savvy. So it just depends on which Robinson Conceição show up. But remember, he only lost to those 3 guys that I named before. That's Raymond Mortai. Before I get into the main ones, Lamont, Roach, and William Zepeda, y'all got anything? Because I don't want y'all just, y'all got anything to put on or to say about?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I didn't even know about Joe Iriarte, so I looked him up on Bodywork. Y'all taught me something. I'm gonna definitely check him out. 6'1". I mean, I don't even know why they did him like that with the with the height and reach. The man in the boxing is 6'1" with a 74-inch reach, orthodox. I mean, if he got footwork and use that jab and he can go to the body, I'm definitely looking. I mean that length, it can go a long way if you know how to use it, man. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited to see him. Conwell, I remember he fought against Perez. He just looked cold. Like, he didn't look like he was like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't look like he was just like as motivated as usual, man. I remember he just looked cold. Just like he just wasn't sweating a lot. Like he'd give up, he punch and burst, but then he wanted, they did a lot of clinching. It just seemed like he couldn't get off. He couldn't get his rhythm, but it's like he wasn't even up for the fight, kind of. I don't know. That's just what I saw from Conwell, but I know he can fight. And then with Mortala, man, I just think he's something different, man. I think the more he keep fighting, the more busy he stay. Like you say, get a marquee win, he gonna be a problem for anybody, man. Because when I saw him fight Andy Cruz, I just saw Mortala keeping Andy on that back foot, and I had never seen Andy not really get it, like catch his tempo and catch his rhythm like that. Mortala just kept coming, and he was hitting him with some good shit, like and he mean too. So Conceição, man, he done been in some battles. I gotta get at to him, man. He'll fight anybody. I mean, and the people, like you said, the people he lost to, man, them ain't no sleepers, man. Them boys, they can fight. I just think Ray gonna break him down, because Conceição, he like to overwhelm you with punches. He like to be up on you. He like to smother you. He like to make it messy. I think with the calmness Ray showed against Andy, and just how even kill he is, I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think what Conceição game plan gonna work on Mortala. I think Mortala gonna break him down and get him out of there. But that's my thing with what just with that. But I'm definitely excited to see Joel Iriarte. I'm putting him on my radar for sure.
Yeah, and with Raymond Mortai, you know what I think, man? I believe that he's gonna be a huge problem at 40, because I think he's cutting down. He got a huge back. He's a big boy. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see him and Gary Antoine at 140.
Oh, me too.
I like that fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like that fight. But I think he's gonna be better at 40. He's gonna have even more power. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have more energy. His condition is gonna be even that much better, because he ain't gonna have to cut no weight. So I'm looking forward to him making that transition. And that's why I think your boy was playing peekaboo with him and tried to 90-10 him, because he already know. He was like, yeah, I'll fight him at 35, but he wanted Oshaki, who's at 30, to come up to 40. And I'm gonna digress from that. That just speaks volumes. And guess what? Mortai was with all the smoke. He said, we'll fight you at 35, 40, or 144. And he tried to 90-10 that man.
Yeah.
So, but leading into AC, you got anything on anybody?
Yeah, I was gonna say this about Mortai. We just lost a huge presence in boxing, and that's Errol Spence. Fighters like Mortai and David Benavidez have that thing that Errol Spence brought, that pressure with that viciousness that's behind it. So he's gonna be a breath of fresh air, to whereas I don't have to say a lot. You don't see me talking and doing all the unnecessary beefing. Just put me in the ring in front of you, and I'm gonna do what I do, and it's just those things that distinguish a fighter. And for Morataya, this is a good fight. Like I was saying earlier with the uh, with one of the fights I was speaking of before. This is one of those type of fights that brings a fighter full circle, in my opinion. Now everybody says, "Okay, you're validated now." For whatever reason that is, that some of these fights just have that complexity and makeup to it. Conwell coming back, yeah, I'm super happy about that because that's something we've been talking about. Like, yo, when is Conwell coming back? And I hope he comes back. Things like that. I'm on the same plane with Swad to whereas something looked off. He looked cold. He didn't look like he had the, maybe I don't know, maybe he was stalled in getting to the stadium, so he was running late and didn't have time to get a sweat going or whatever. But whatever the case may be, he just fought really flat, and just to stay with the one trick he was trying to pull off, that told me a lot more that something a little bit deeper was going on. Also with the fighter that you guys are talking about, yeah, I want to see him. I've never seen him before. He's brand new to me. This is like one of those things that I sometimes bring out fighters' names and people are like, "Who is that?" And then I got to go in and break that down. But that's pretty much it.
Word. Yeah, I seen him a couple times.
Yo, and yeah, I was gonna say, and that Conwell was gonna be a good one. Cause Crow, he ain't been that active either. I think I saw him on an interview with YSM. Shout out to YSM Sports, but he was doing an interview with him, and he was talking about his inactivity. So that's something he still got to overcome too. That's a good matchup, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that might be the sleeper fight of the night, as far as like where they at and that inactivity and them wanting to get to that next level. Because Conwell was knocking on the door. They was maneuvering around him because he was a problem. He sent somebody. We know what he did with Patrick Day, bro. Nobody was really trying to. They was finding all kind of ways, like because it was a team. I'm not gonna put it out there right now, but it was a team who lowballed him, saying, "Yeah, we sent him an offer," and then come to find out, because I spoke to Ohio Runs Boxing about him, and he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "Man," he said he was because he's cool, he's real cool with Charles Conwell and Coach Prentice Brewer, one of my favorite coaches, young up and coming coaches. He talked to him and he said, "Man," he said, when I seen what they sent me, he was like, I was surprised they thought that was my worth. Like, this dude was an Olympian, bro. And he sent somebody up, and he's been around. You know what I'm saying? He's 21-1, bro. He was 21-0 right before the Perez fight. So Eddie and them lowballed this man, you know what I'm saying, to fight somebody. And y'all can read between the lines, but they lowballed that man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the last
you
thing
remember that, right, AC?
Yeah, huh?
You remember that, right? When they
definitely. I remember that because I was shocked. I was like, wow, y'all was acting like y'all reported it like, oh, we approached Charles Conwell like we were approaching all the tough guys. We even approached Charles Conwell and he turned down the fight with Boots. And I was like, what? There's gotta be another reason for that, because no way do I believe that. And then I heard what was up, and I was like, yeah, that's believable. That's definitely believable because that's their pattern. But one other fighter I wanted to mention, I would love to see Morataya face at 140. I would love to see him fight Hirioka. See how that would look.
That's a good one. That's a good one too. Yeah.
I would want to see Hirioka and Puello ultimately. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them guys. I want to see what happened with that. But
yeah.
But
it's some dogs we want for. I mean, it's some dogs, man.
Yeah, but that guy Paul Crow, beside the inactivity, man, I think that's gonna be. I think we could earmark that as the fight of the night, man. I think that's gonna go down as the fight of the night, man. Somebody getting something gonna happen in that fight, man. I think somebody might go to sleep. Somebody might go to sleep in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But. Moving on to Lamont Roach and William Zepeda, man, so we can open it all the way up. Lamont Roach, man, people are harping on the draws with Lamont Roach. He's just really not doing enough to get over the hump. Oh, for real? Yeah, it's all good. That's why I say no pressure, OG. Just anytime, man. When I put the link, you know you more than welcome to get up here, man. You know you actually know your stuff, man. So I appreciate you. But Lamont, he's 5'7" with a 68-inch arm reach. They got Williams Zepeda at 5'9" with a 69.5-inch arm reach. So he got him by 2 inches in height and 1.5 inches in reach. Williams Zepeda. Lamont Roach, elite boxing IQ, outstanding defense. They say excellent footwork, championship experience. And they got him saying they saying that he make adjustments. I don't know. I think if he made an adjustment, you know what I'm saying, in that last fight, but I think he came out the wrong way. And his father was getting upset with him. But if he listen, his father is excellent, man. His father was digging in his shit saying, listen, what are you doing? Like, he was about to jack him up, man. And he needed that. Because the way he came out and fought Pitbull, he shouldn't have. I wouldn't have fought him like that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have fought him like that. I would have probably played more of the Matador role. But it was an exciting fight, right? He's limited. He got limited one punch power, and he must maintain his output and his pressure. They saying Roach is more cerebral. You know what I'm saying? This is the data I collected, that he's more of a cerebral guy. I'm just looking for Lamont to handle business against Zepeda. I think that I was never high on Williams Zepeda. I respect him because anytime you can throw that amount of punches, your conditioning has to be impeccable. My only thing is, when I seen Zepeda going up against Shakur, and Shakur, you could tell he didn't have that much power because Shakur chose to stand there. Shakur has never stood anywhere. He's not going to stand there. If you got more than respectable power, he would never stand there and do that. And so Zepeda caught him, right? That's why his daughter said, he almost knocked you out. You know, that's what his daughter said after the fight, right? But he kept throwing the same punches. It's like he didn't change up how he was throwing the punches, what he was delivering them to. His coach kept telling him what to do. He was saying, no, go back to the body. He's like, aim for the chest, go to the body though, aim for the chest, and then come up. But it's just, Zepeda would just be in there just winging it a lot of the times. I seen him to where Shakur was there and there was no real sense of danger because he kept throwing the punch to the same spot. And Shakur could see where it's coming, so he could brace himself. We know the best punches are the ones you don't see. Zepeda don't present no shit that you don't see. He's not that creative in his offense. Now, he will dig to your body. If he picks up where he left off with Tevin Farmer, how he sharked Tevin Farmer's body, oh yeah, he might be able to get with Lamont Roach. The thing is with Lamont Roach is he got great timing. That's one of the things, you know, when they say speed, you know, when they say timing beats speed, you know, that's Lamont. Lamont can time you, and if Lamont really sits down on some stuff, then I definitely see 2 knockdowns in this fight. I don't see no knockouts, but I can see 2 knockdowns. And Lamont Roach is talking some, he's saying, he talking that sports science shit, saying that where he looked at his metrics, he said he's 20% faster and stronger than he was according to the metrics of last camp. He's been tracking it. He's using that sports science stuff. So, you know, he's trying to get better. You know, he's talking the right talk. The only thing is Lamont is coming back down from 40. And Lamont is not, even though he's not that tall, he's a solid dude. Lamont is a solid dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing we got to look out for with Lamont, you know what I'm saying, coming back down. Lamont starts late. If he gets behind, it might be too much. Yeah, he could get behind. He could get behind on a good point, D-Free. But let's go over to Williams Zepeda. He got elite punch volume. You got to be able to deal with a lot of volume because guys who throw a lot of punches like that, almost like how Leo Santa Cruz was with Tank, where we're just coming from everywhere, and Tank, you know, trying to figure out, okay, what's going on, but them punches is landing. He's the guy, like, that's what presented the challenge with Shakur, because Shakur like a clean pocket. He like, you know what I'm saying, he like everything clean and pristine. Well, Zepeda was murky in that water, which is key. So Zepeda got to murky that water, but he got to protect that chin, because I think Lamont could time him and catch him. Devastating body attack, excellent conditioning, and he breaks his opponents mentally. So pretty much when you've been beating the body up with a lot of the competition that Zepeda was facing earlier on and in his rise, right, he was invested in the body, overwhelming you. So when you get into those later rounds and you ain't got nothing, he gonna put the pedal to the metal. And if he see you hurt, he gonna definitely dig more to the body and try to get you up out of there. His openings, his opportunities are the defensive openings, right? He could be hit, he could be countered, especially if you're a sharp technician. And he gotta learn how to cut the ring off. That's not really gonna be a problem with Lamont, because Lamont don't choose that style to make you have to cut the ring off. Lamont is more of like a stationary guy, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be there. So this is a very, very interesting point. And Zepeda's goal is to overwhelm his opponents with nonstop offense. So in many cases, his nonstop offense is his defense. And so Lamont's going to be there for the taking if Zepeda can get his accuracy a little bit better. Keep the volume, right? But be a little bit better and think about defense every now and again, because Lamont should be able to catch him at some point. But that's everything on the the nutritional value aspect of me breaking down this card. And that's why I say, man, between all of these fights, this is a hell of a card, y'all. Like, I'm excited about this. It's gonna be a great night of boxing. I don't even know who's gonna be on the prelims. And D Free says Zepeda needs to get his head off the line and don't square up, or he can get dropped. Yep. But that's it for the nutritional value aspect of this, y'all.
Yeah. AC, go ahead, man.
I'm gonna wait for this fucking ambulance to go by.
Okay.
These niggas don't get the fuck out the way.
That's the link. That's the link, D Free, if you want to jump up here, man. And speak on anything, man, that we spoke of, man. I'm excited about this card, man. But go ahead, Swar.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I mean, you made a lot of great points, man. For Lamont Zepeda is an interesting matchup, especially stylistically. And I think, especially for Lamont, like what I saw from Lamont against Pitbull Cruz, and even what I've seen with other fighters, like Lamont gotta it's like he gotta gain momentum. It's like when his opponent wanna stand there and scrap, he wanna stand there and scrap. Or when it's like he moves to what the opponent doing. And my thing is with Lamont, man, you got defense, you got some shit to keep people off of you. You got high boxing IQ, but sometimes your pride get in the way. Like you be wanting to fight. When somebody like down on points, you don't feel the need to like dance on them a little bit and show a little bit more. You want to get in there and fight with them, and then make it look like the fight is close. Like with Pitbull, it wasn't nowhere in hell he was supposed to be in there even that close to Pitbull when it came to points. Like when you get in there trying to like fight and go back and forth with Pitbull, that's exactly what he wants. You could have, the game plan was, and no disrespect, but it was just it was trash to me, because it's like you wanted to go in there and brawl with him, but why? When you know you're going against a brawler, man, you're supposed to show your IQ. You're supposed to be able to use the ring. You're supposed to be able to get in there, combo, get back, step back. Show the versatility and frustrate it. And he wanted, but he didn't do that. He would do it a little bit, but then as soon as people want to come, with his head down and walk forward, he want to go in there and bang with him. And I think that's what the problem is with him with those draws. It's like you got to separate yourself more in them fights, man. Like, don't fight, they fight just because they want to come and be aggressive, man. Yo, let them be, tag them. That's all Shakur did to Zepeda. Zepeda wanted to come forward and do all that. Shakur let him do all that. He was blocking him, hit him with them combinations, push him off. He come in and will again with Zepeda come forward. He had a crazy game plan. I mean, Zepeda's not not a mad problem to figure out. He gonna come forward, head on the line, and he gonna throw a lot of punches. That's what he gonna do, and he gonna try to break you down. What I want to see Lamont do, I want to see that IQ go to another level. I want to see that you can show that you dominant just from a cerebral standpoint. Don't go in there and try to exchange as many punches as him. Like, don't do that, man. Use your combinations. Get him off for you. Walk him down. But make sure you create that separation where it make it hard for him to just throw that many punches. But if he go in there and try to bang with Zepeda, he gonna make it. The fight gonna look close, and that's what I want to see. I want to see Lamont pull it out, man. I'm tired of them draws that he get, but I think that he gotta pick his poison. Like, you gotta show that IQ, man. We know you a high IQ kind of boxer. We know that you got some shit to keep people out for you. You can even put them out. But your pride sometimes wants you to sit there and bang with people who don't really have that much skill set as you, and it make it hard for the judges to say, okay, he pulled away. So I'm looking to see what. Go ahead. I'm just saying, I'm looking to see what he do.
Let me ask you something though. How did you score that him versus Pitbull? How did you see that fight going?
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It was for me. It was. I didn't like his game. It was just like I saw him try to scrap him. It was like neck and neck. And I almost thought Pitbull pulled it out in the late round when Pitbull started dancing a little bit. When he started getting a little loose, and I ain't never seen Pitbull do that. So I was like, but that's the thing. It was hard for me to really like score, because it was just like they was going back and forth. I just didn't see nobody pulling momentum away from each other in that fight. It was tough, but I almost thought Pitbull messed around and won, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning. I was like, well, I think Pitbull might have pulled it out, but I think it's going to be a draw. And for sure it was a draw. Here's my take. When I look at William Zepeda, and I look at his previous fights before Shakur, when you look at what he does and you look at how Tevin Farmer fought him, I just didn't see Shakur fighting him that way. So for me, classically, the come forward, high volume pressure fighter at times was the guy who overwhelmed the methodical, everything has to be clean and neat and tucked away. I throw this punch, then you come back with this, like Teddy, whatever his name is, broke it down, where fighters get into this rhythm of gelling.
Teddy Atlas, yeah,
Teddy Atlas. Fighters get in the rhythm of gelling. That certain things are happening. They're reading things without thinking, and sometimes we get great fights when fighters gel because they're not thinking about the defense, or they're not trying to be defensively sound. In that case, they're just slinging at it. Basically, that third round with Boots and Xander, you could say that to a certain degree. Now, here's kind of my issue. For me, Zepeda, when I look at how he fights, even though he has the volume punches and stuff like that, he has a higher knockout rate. When you talk about his height and his reach advantage, he loses that because he doesn't fight long. He doesn't control range. He's just a volume guy. Now, let's say he somehow pulls that wrinkle out, like strategically Virgil does. This is why people look at Virgil and they say, okay, Virgil can be a lot more than what he is, because Virgil does use his jab, but he then falls back into the high guard and he steps forward. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is a come forward fighter that mastered an active jab and a stab jab to the body to get you to go back. Then he closes the distance, and before you know it, as you step back, he took 2 steps forward. You're like, how the fuck did he get here? Don't worry about that. Protect your shit because he's gonna be lumping you the fuck up. If Zepeda brings those type of wrinkles out, Lamont Roach is not gonna win that fight. If Zepeda knows how to use pressure style fighting, he can do it, but he hasn't mastered it by no means. And Lamont Roach hasn't mastered the technique, in my opinion, to get around the high volume pressure fighter. I feel like the way he came out when, or the style he chose, it was something to me that said, okay, either you want to prove a point, or Pitbull's ability to close the distance fucked you up in your methodical head, that it was like, oh shit, this little nigga closes the distance way better than what I originally thought. Like, whoa. So then I'm not gonna try to get up out of the way of that, because then I might get caught on the way out. So it's best that I just meet this bull head on. You're a bull, I'm a pickup truck. Let's see who gonna back each other up. And that's like, after I looked at it and looked at certain aspects of the fight and just kept on looking at the highlights of it, this was just the thought I was coming up with. Like, maybe Pitbull's pressure is a lot different than what people think it actually is. It looks one way on TV, but when you in there with him, it feels way, way different. It's like Tank. You could look at Tank and think, oh, I could beat him in this, but once Tank starts to apply that pressure and you know that there's power behind that pressure, that shit gets you to thinking like it's a fight or flight type of reaction. Zepeda is not there yet. So there is the possibility that Lamont can control him with distance. But Lamont is going to be Lamont Roach. He's not going to want to get the boring fight because he already said it. Lamont Roach's issue is why he keeps getting these draws is because he simply believes outworking the champ is enough to beat the champ. Well, maybe that may be the case, but in terms of judging, judges do have preferences. I believe that now because it's been proven, and judges may still hold on to a certain ideology. Did you actually beat the champ to become the champ? I seen you outwork him in pockets, but did you beat him? And if you ask yourself those questions about Lamont Roach, you're going to say no. He doesn't beat these guys. He outworks them, but you're not beating them. There is nothing that these guys are really paying for when they make the mistakes in the ring with you. Because you're going to want that combat. You're looking for something that just doesn't exist. And that might be your downfall. You're cerebral in your attack and your defense. And cerebral people need a clean, orderly room to operate. I've seen it with cooks. You just fuck with their stuff a little bit or have the pans a certain way. As soon as it gets busy, they freeze up and freak out and like, I can't do this. I can't work under these conditions. Why? It's a hot pan. Put it on the stove and cook the fucking dish. Oh, but I just, and they just get fucked up in the head, and you just looking at them like, wow, there is this, that is a real thing in cooking. And before I got to that high level, I used to just hear about it and it was a unicorn. Until I got there, windows on the world, you looking at cooking 6,000 meals in 3 hours. Or a la carte. They're just ordering off a menu, so it's not 30 or 6,000 steaks you're making. No, this shit is coming from everywhere. And if you can't be calm within the midst of that storm, like we were talking about what Mortaya has. He has that calmness, but Mortaya has that type of pressure. Like the people I'm talking about, like the Tanks, like the Errol Spencers. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I think Shakur avoids them. Because traditionally, that is the style that beats your ass and makes you look bad. aka Marcus Maidana. He took the best guy in boxing and made him look sus. To the guy said, oh, well, you know what? I can't live with that. I got to rematch this motherfucker.
Yeah.
After sending little bro to do it. And then he just mollywopped little bro. Because little bro was cerebral. Little bro needed that clean room. Okay, if I'm in my stance and I'm posturing, you're not supposed to do something. We're supposed to posture. But Maidana was like, posture in front of me, I'm gonna fuck you up. So this is where I look for Zepeda. If he learned something, this is what he learned. But outside of that, I had to go back, and this is where I landed. I had to go back and look at when Zepeda fought Shakur Stevenson. What year was it? What was really going on outside the ring that may have influenced the fight or been used as leverage to influence the way Zepeda fought? Because those combinations that Zepeda threw with Shakur, I'm like, bro, are you purposely trying to hit him there? Because there's other shit that's wide open. Because you caught him with it twice, but you never went back to that, even though he did the same thing. Whether he's doing it up against the ropes or whether he's doing it right there in the middle of the floor. The same fucking punch is available, homie. It's just not available at one side. That's like saying, yeah, the pan only gets hot on one side if you put it over here. Well, if you put it in the middle of the pilot, everything gets hot. That's the way the shit is designed. So I'm gonna look at this, and if Zepeda pulls it off and looks different, like the old Zepeda that we saw, then I'll say it, because in this era, I can see how certain things were questioned and how certain things were used as leverage. Yeah, you think I won't? You think I won't call a masked man on your little Mexican ass? Just like they used to tell black fighters back in the day. Come in your dressing room like, you're a great fighter. Yeah, but I don't think tonight's the night you're gonna win this fight. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Because if you don't, it'd be a shame that they find you tomorrow morning hanging from a tree.
Like they told Caleb Plant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can win this fight, but if I was you, I probably wouldn't win this fight, because that was the most trivial ending to a fight. I was like, look at all this. He stood up and then fell down, and I'm like, man, all that acting, man. I was like, come on, bro. He was all boxing Canelo. But this,
I landed right here for you, Body, because this is something you posted. Your disdain for how that AJ fight was.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now it's 2025 when you and Shakur Stevenson fought. And that's all I'm going to say. Just look at the year him and Shakur Stevenson fought. Look at where William Zepeda's residence is and where he fights versus Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
It's a real thing, man. It's the same thing I think T.O. went through, because there's no way T.O. didn't sell out. You know what I'm saying? It's like we know more. And so that's why I'm in this. I'm at this thing where I'm just picking Rolly now. I mean, I think Rolly has gotten better, even though he was never really my cup of tea. But I think he's matured a little bit. And then I'm just I don't like that with T.O. You know what I'm saying? T.O. he disappointed me. I didn't, I'm not gonna say it hands down he was gonna beat Shakur, but like the effort wasn't there. It's like, you gotta sell out, bro. His father said you're gonna hate yourself in the morning. And it's been some time, so he probably healed from that. But at the same time, like, he put his hands in his pockets. So he didn't sell out. But this is what I wanted to say about Roach versus Zepeda. The way I can, if I had to like coin it, if I had to use if I had to like encapsulate it, I would just say it's gonna come down to quality versus quantity. So when it comes down to the scoring of this fight, it's 4 scoring criteria. Right, and it was real odd in the Pitbull fight because you seen Pitbull on the back foot. So you could argue in the scoring criteria, like, okay, well, Lamont is showing ring generalship because he's making Pitbull do something that he never does. Like, you never see Pitbull on no back foot trying to back up and do all like that's not his style. So, but the judges didn't see it like that. They said the same thing along the line with Swag was saying, as far as like, oh, he's showing out, like he's showing that, hey, look what I could do, in the middle. So people's like, look at Pitbull, like, what is he like? So, but the thing is this: in judging this fight, you got effective punching, right? That's gonna go to Lamont unless Zepeda changed. But Zepeda, and I don't think this is one thing about Bodywork, until it really shows up, like you don't get as much credit from these judges that you do, unless somebody like hunched over, unless you hunch somebody over, right? You don't really get that much credit. So they don't really care, because I've seen it to where people are going, I've seen it even this weekend where it's like every time somebody was doing work, they wasn't calling it. They was having sidebar. And the minute somebody else do work, aka Darian Chinko, they was calling that shit. I was just like, man, what are y'all like, especially in them earlier rounds? I was like, man, listening to Max and them, that shit was dumb. But like the judges, they don't give credit to the body, but William Zepeda's going to go to the body. Now, that's going to show up on Lamont in those championship rounds. So when he need to tough it out and dig it out, William Zepeda is going to put a lot of water in that basement. Defense should go to Lamont Roach. But if it comes down to the quality versus quantity, you can't get away with just 1 or 2 or 3 just bangers unless you like really buckle him, like where you make it to where it's like, oh, he's hurt. When they say, oh, he's hurt, I don't think he got himself together. Unless you create those kind of moments, it's going to be I'm going to hit you 4 times and you might hit me once. And every now and again, I'm going to hit you 5 times, you might hit me twice. I don't think Roach can win like that. You know what I'm saying? Unless he drops him. He got to equalizer gonna be, he's gonna have to get a couple knockdowns, but I think he's gonna be in them situations where the judge is gonna be looking at quality versus quantity. He's gonna have the more effective punches, but if he don't drop or stumble or visibly hurt Zepeda, he's gonna lose. He could possibly lose on getting outpointed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I see.
Absolutely, I agree.
So
it's gonna be interesting though. It's definitely gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I mean, because I just wanted to.
No, I was just say, the dynamics of everything is gonna be is we just have to see. Basically, we just have to see how the fight plays out. If people or whatever looks at the two fighters, more than likely we're just going to get the same versions of the guys that we saw in their last fight, maybe a little bit more polished, maybe whatever. But I would want to internally, I want to pick Zepeda. And the reason why I'm saying I would want to pick Zepeda is, okay, Oscar is going to try to do whatever with Zepeda. But at the end of the day, Zepeda is still going to be Zepeda. Not much is going to change with him as far as personality and trying to sell him or whatever. Maybe to the Mexican fans, if he should win, that might help some black fans that look at him. When I'm sizing this up, I'm also looking at the fighters themselves and asking this, because one of the players in this game is already showing these type of signs that says, okay, so if you win, what is best for the business of boxing? Because at the end of the day, you're already talking a certain way. They're trying to match you up with things in a certain way. Like, where does Lamont Roach go or Hollywood go from here? If he was in my hood, that's the name we'd have for him. His name would be Hollywood. Because since he, whatever, you definitely Hollywood, bro. You Broadway. You all of that, So basically, I'm just like, all right, if Lamont Roach win, what do we expect to see after that? are they going to start to talk about Lamont Roach as part of the pick, choose, and refuse crowd? Like, well, Roach did this, and I believe then Roach did that, and those two draws, yeah, they this, and that, and you're going to try to wipe those two draws away and try to whitewash it as if you really go back and look at the fights, Lamont Roach won both of those fights, which I've already seen them say. You can make the argument, but the argument also stands that yes, I saw you outwork them, but did you beat them for the fight? You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, we're asking the question: did Lamont Roach change? And if he changed, what is this Zepeda win supposed to do for him? Oh yeah, now you're following in the footsteps of Shakur. Yeah, you and Shakur Stevenson did whatever. So that's gonna be the fight that they're gonna say, all right, let's forget about all of these other fights and let's really push the Shakur Stevenson versus Lamont Roach fight. And that's the same thing Oshaki talked about, where y'all would rather see and pay good money to watch a glorified sparring match. Body talks about it, where it's a fencing touch. Oh, touch the belly button. Oh, touch your shoulder. You feel what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna be like fucking operated a game. You get 2 points if you touch the belly button. You get 3.5.
That's cold blooded,
you
Eric
feel
Jones.
what
That's
I'm
cold.
saying? You get 3.5 points if you touch his left nipple. So it's gonna be like, come on, bruh. What the fuck? And you know where they're gonna put that fight, because Hollywood is gonna go where the money is. They're gonna negotiate the same type of deal. You feel what I'm saying? That they have going on with Ryan and what's the name? That's why that fight is important. Because if Lamont Roach should beat Zepeda, Hollywood is going over to Zuffa to fight Shakur Stevenson.
But let me say this though. You brought up a name, and I believe, yeah, we haven't heard much more. I gotta do some research on this Navarrete. Where does Navarrete and Shock stand? But Navarrete and Shock, right? If they get it on and Shock win that fight, Roach gonna kind of be stuck because Shock gonna push that button. He already in with the WBC. That's what he looking at. That's what he waiting on. So even if, let's just say, because that's getting ready to happen. Let's say the Navarrete stalling out. You don't think Shock is gonna put that paperwork in? Yeah. So
absolutely.
Hollywood can go Hollywood. He can have those intentions, but hey, with that belt and with what Zuffa got going on, and they trying to loosen up and try to say that, oh yeah, they're thinking about allowing fighters to just fight for sanctioning titles and this and that, but like Oshaki's gonna push that button and become that guy. He gonna have to, Lamar gonna have to fight him. If let's say Navarrete keep dragging his feet, depending on the results, Shock coming up to get the winner. He said that was one of his options. You know what I'm saying? So Navarrete can play around if he want to, and Hollywood can go more Hollywood. But like either way, you gonna have to see Oshaki.
I want to see that too.
Which I don't know. I'm leaning. I like Shock. I'm high on Shock because I ain't moving, and I don't gotta ask what the business, if the business of boxing gonna influence him. It's like, no, he said I want to fight all of these guys one by one and send them all home crying. And that's the kind of energy I'm behind. I don't want nobody that's trying to become that then put in the application for the friends and family and got approved, and now you extended Brat Pack member. Nah, I don't want that.
So, Body, what if? Because, all right, Shock put that paperwork in, right? Roach is gonna lean. I think Roach is gonna lean heavily on Shakur, because I think they were supposed to meet each other, or Shock was looking to fight Lamont Roach before Roach went up to fight Tank. You feel what I'm saying? I just heard rumors of that. I don't know how true they were, but those were some rumblings that I did wind up hearing.
Say what you said again. Say that again.
I was saying that before Lamont Roach moved up to fight Tank, there was some talk that O'Shack wanted to fight him at 130.
Yeah, it was true. That was true.
Okay, so at the end of the day, all right, you did that. Now here it comes all over again. Why wouldn't I believe, just by looking at his previous actions, that you might try to pull that trigger with Shakur, and then the talking point is going to be, well, he's going to make a bigger bag fighting Shakur over Oshaki. Okay, we'll buy that. All right. So that means what weight is he going to fight Shakur at? 130, 140. Which one? So if it's going to be at 140, what is he going to do after the fact? So O'Shack is still going to be there if this Navarrete thing fall apart. And at the end of the day, if that should happen like that, and you do try to use Shakur as a method of ducking, and Shakur gives you, co-signs that and gives you that privilege to do that, because he's going to need something. He's going to need someone to throw him a life net, something.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying?
You was going where I'm getting ready to go.
Exactly. So I'm just like, hey, I'll let you finish it though. I'll start it, but I'll let you finish it.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody need to give Lamont Hollywood Roach some Folgers. They need to put some Folgers in his cup and tell him, look, wake up, look. Shakur made his bed. Let him lay in it. Let him lay in it. Don't let him be in the catbird seat where he could just sit back with his feet perched up and he could pick, choose, and refuse. Fuck no. Why? Because he could have stuck around and he didn't have to go over there. Because remember, this would shock me, and I was appalled. Shakur never weighed his options. So either he's lying through his teeth, or we take him for his word and say he didn't even negotiate or talk to nobody else. He just went and signed with Zuffa. So he made that bed. Let him go. Like Shakur should not be able to sit back now. If he was going through, some legal issues and some stuff that was keeping him out of the ring, that's different. But like, he's not going through that. He said that the zone offer came in late and he didn't even look at that. So he just went over to Zuffa without even checking his options. So he didn't go over and be like, hey man, what's going on with Tank? Like, how can I, because I'm free now, I'm a free agent. He didn't do that. He did the same thing he did when he left Top Rank and went over to Matchroom. So he just did the same thing as a free agent. He just packed his stuff up and just left. He didn't talk to his parents. He said, hey, I don't like you here. I don't like the way you treat me, Dad. Mom, you don't even listen to me. You don't spend no time with me. I'm gone. He just left. He just ran away to Zuffa Island, the Isle of Zuffa Monroe that AC say. So look, he got himself in a quandary. He got himself. So why should you go through a war? Because think about it. Remember, Shakur was calling out Pitbull.
Come on,
Remember,
man.
he was saying Pitbull. It was part of the list when Frank Martin and all them guys was saying no. You know what I'm saying? Well, Shakur was looking at Pitbull. He didn't do that. So Lamont, so he gonna make Lamont go through the gauntlet. Lamont had to fight Tank. Then right after that, Pitbull. He was saying he wanted Gary Antoine. Gary Antoine was like, nah, you gotta fight my brother. Which I'm like, man, Gary Antoine, you should have just went ahead and put on the demo. That's one thing I didn't like about what Gary Antoine said. He was like, man, nah, he ain't getting past. If he would have beat this guy, and then you get ready to fight Duarte. That's why I keep that same energy when it comes to my guys. I don't play that. It's like, nah, that didn't sound right. You probably should have went ahead and waxed his ass, Gary, because that would have been like, you could have showed, hey, I'm gonna do something that neither one of these guys did. Because I'm gonna beat you the fuck up. I'm gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I digress. Don't like Lamont should look at it like this. Even if he hear this, you shouldn't have to go through the gauntlet while Shakur sit over there, getting his belly rubbed, getting fed grapes and shit. No, because he don't even want to fight El Rayo. Like, so should Shakur just be able to sit over there and you ran to an island, but you get to like point back at solid land and be like, yeah, I want that one right there. You shouldn't be able to do that. Go get busy, dog. You go do so. Yeah, you got your T.O., right? But T.O. didn't show up for that. You got your dub. Now you've been sitting on that. You've been relaxing on that for what, 7 months now? You've been relaxing on that for 7. You've been living off that high for 7 months. And Lamont going through the gauntlet. He getting ready to tie you up he getting ready to do something. Hopefully, he do something to Zepeda that you didn't do, right? So Lamont need some Folgers in his cup, and it'll be better for Lamont to stay where he at, get another big fight that got real history, real animosity, not no fake brotherly love, not no rat pack, you know what I'm saying, pact or agreement that they got, you know what I'm saying, where they got a friendly bromance brewing.
Buddy
it's
system.
like, how many bromances do Shakur got, bro? Like Shakur got a bromance with Ritters and Hitches. Oh, it's gonna have to be life-changing money and all blah blah. He got a pact with like Jonathan and David with Keyshawn, right? He got Ray Ford in his back pocket. He got a bromance brewing with Lamont. It's like, God damn.
He got seven of them.
Then he got Gary Antoine. Hold on, 1 second. Then he got Gary Antoine kind of talking a little bit funny whenever his name come up. I'm like, man, bro, it's fucking up boxing. So Lamont needs to fight. Lamont needs to focus on himself, and if that Shakur shit come his way, okay, cool. But don't wait and push for it because you got good work and history with O'Shock. That's a great fight if you get past Zepeda. Y'all both be simultaneously making a run at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I thought. Yeah, Lamont like next on the list for being a part of the buddy system. Like he trying to learn he earning brownie points right now. Lamont trying to get a part of that crew. There's about 7 of them Shakur got over there, man. That's a whole nother thing. Shakur be tag team with everybody. Shit. Can't stand him.
He was doing it with Devin at first. Then they fell out. You remember? Because they was going down Yellow Brick Road together. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see the Wizard of Oz. And then Shakur broke bad. And he recorded Bill, and that's how they friendship fell out. But they was doing the same thing. He had a pact with Devin before that. So I'm like, dude, that's why I can't get with it. It's like you long overdue with this buddy stuff.
Yeah, and
go ahead, AC. Yeah, go ahead, AC.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's looking pretty.
Ain't that pretty
shaky out. It's looking real shaky out here for the friends and family system. You know, the Brat Pack, because now the doors is closing in. You know what I'm saying? And you guys ain't got room to maneuver like that no more. You're starting to cash in favors like, yo, remember when we went out to eat that night and you needed that $5? Well, you got it right now. And that's kind of what these dudes is doing with themselves. So Lamont Roach, for me, the glorified sparring match, that's going to be good for those casual fans and stuff like that. And things like that, but I would be extra careful in that because you're looking to lie in a bed that has snakes, alligators, hungry dogs, and a bunch of other shit up in there. And you know, your family structure and the structure you got going on right now, you don't need that bullshit. Your family is actually putting on cards. Like you could have, if you wanted to, you and your family could have been on this fight that just happened, on the Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis fight, because y'all got real promotion under your belt. So you don't need that bullshit that Shakur would be offering you. The play is actually to fight O'Shockey. Because if you go ahead and you scrap with O'Shockey, then guess what happens? You're building your legacy because you're gonna fight the guy that your homie refused to fight, that looked bad, lost his integrity to fight, and was exposed.
Yep.
You get to spin that block and get that work.
Yep.
And then whatever the outcome is, even if it's a close fight, and even if it winds up being another draw, people will want to see you versus O'Shockey the second time around, because they're gonna be like, nah, them dudes fought. They was in it. You know? So he has to understand his future, run his race, and look at boxing that works best for the Roach team and the Roach family, and he himself. So hopefully, if he could figure all of that stuff out, cool. But right now, the task is getting past William Zepeda. And sometimes the way you talk, it's like you're not, you know, you may be a little bit more interested in what comes past William Zepeda. I get it where you're saying you can't afford another draw. You're not, you looked at and corrected those issues that, made the judges see the fight that they saw and things like that. If you come out and look as sharp as a sushi knife, then hey, bruh, I'm with you, bruh. When it came down to the Tank fight, me and Body was talking like almost every other day, going back and forth about it. Like, yeah, you telling me Blase what he feels about Tank, and I'm telling him what I feel about Roach, and then we're also in agreement that yeah, what we didn't like was that sort of friendship shit that they had going on. Y'all was just a little bit too cordial, And then closer to the fight, Body started leaning heavy on, I don't know. This ain't the Tank that I'm used to. Then we got the outcome that we got to, and the guy who was pulling for him was still like, yeah, this wasn't a good look for my guy. You feel what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, where you are now with this fight right now, it's a pinnacle fight for you. It's also the fight that they're going to use to compare and then try to force you with all the media arguments and all the channels are going to say, if you beat Zepeda, then you have to. There's no fight nobody want to see in boxing but you versus Shakur Stevenson. And if you could weather that storm right there and choose the fight you want, regardless of what the darling media is going to say about their darling guy to try to save their darling guy, then the true boxing fans, the ones that love the sport, are going to be the guys that says, yeah, that Zuffa shit is falling apart because fighters don't want to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. So,
yeah, keep your independence.
Yeah.
My message to Roach is keep your independence and yeah, I know you want the big fights, you want to show what you can do and this and that, but like I'm gonna say this again. Shakur made his bed. Make him lay in it. He should have to go through a gauntlet too. He shouldn't be able to just sit back and put his feet up because he jumped up right after what was that? After Zepeda. After the performance with Zepeda, right? He jumped up and he got T.O. T.O. didn't show up. He been resting on it. He been sitting back chilling. He been chilling, man. Like right when he get the juice, he be chilling. He ain't pushed the guy. He got more excuses or reasons why he won't fight this guy. Why? Oh, I don't like the way he talked to me. Oh, that fight, And now all of a sudden he back to saying, oh yeah, I said, imagine being a Shakur only fan, only to wake up and see that your favorite fighter like to watch Tank fight. It's like that's why I said you can't gaslight me. I'm already lit. It's like all that gaslighting you was doing, all that. Oh, I don't need him and this and that and all this hating and shit. Only to find out that you really a fan, that you really be what he's one of your favorite guys to watch. Like, come on, man. We already knew that. So he just killed all the media and all this bullshit they be saying because everybody got his name in his mouth. Don't become a part of that. Why? Because you still got the rematch with Tank that you can get ultimately. You got good work with Oshaki. Gary Antoine might say, oh well shit, you did that to William Zepeda. All right, well, I'll give you a shot. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? You got work. You got plenty of options over on this side. You go over there with that Shakur shit. It's like, yeah, you might get some change, but are you gonna give up your independence? Is it gonna be like what's gonna surround all of that decision? You should make him, you know what I'm saying, do some work too. Because I don't think he made it. He ain't got, I mean, yeah, he got the accolades and all that, but like they trying to treat this man, they trying to treat this man like he did what Bud did. Like he didn't do what Bud did.
Yeah.
He just inherited the torch because Bud went out the door and gave him a friendly handshake on the way. Like, yeah, this is my young nigga right here. But like, you ain't. This happen on the streets all the time. If the OG gone, who holding the block and doing it, like the next guy, yeah, he's supposed to be the next guy up. But like, nah, you gotta show that you can fulfill that role. You know what I'm saying? Like when Bumpy left, somebody had to fulfill that role. That man went all the way over to Asia and got a pipeline and thought outside the box to get his shit. He didn't just oh yeah, my man said I'm next, so yeah, you gotta respect me. On the block, nah, they'd be coming for your head, dog. They wouldn't be trying to be friends with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's what I was gonna say. Roach is in my opinion, he's in a really like solid position. If we're gonna respect Roach and look at the run Roach is gonna make, and we're already saying X, Y, and Z, okay. You beat Zepeda, right? Let's look at who else. You got Sam Noakes, you got Mason. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's wide open
Lamont
for you, bro.
Well, Andy Cruz went down to 30, but I think Andy Cruz could, really do well at both weights, depending on the level of fight and what type of action is gonna be there. But at the end of the day, bro, there is just so much work at 35. You feel what I'm saying? That you can actually look at. So I don't know. I'm just like, choose a weight class, stay there, get your belt. You know what I'm saying? Face the people that would be good fights. Shit, I wouldn't even mind seeing Lamont Roach versus an Albert Bell at 35. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, it's just a lot of good fighters at 35 for you to be worrying about what's going on at the higher weights and stuff like that. If you're gonna stay at 35, get your belt, try to unify and do, what was done before. Become that undisputed guy, and who knows, you might get a lineal fight out of there.
The only sticking point I would have for Lamont Roach, if I'm gonna play devil's advocate to one of my arguments, is you might have Shakur in a tricky spot. 7 months, he's been out for 7 months, and he's gonna have to drop back down to 35. And he's probably gonna have to wait for you, because if you go through this, then what? You're gonna be looking like at what? We go through August, September, October. Like you'll be looking at the end of the year. You'll be looking at like November, maybe November, December, or early next year for your next one. If it's not gonna be a quick turnaround. That's the only sticking point, is that because over there, they don't have, even though he was talking about that 144 and all that, they got over there, they got 135 and 147. So that's the only sticking point. You might be able to get him because he's been sitting down on this high, and then he's gonna have to come back down and wait to see you, and you'll be fresh off of coming off a fight and staying active, and he won't. So you might have that momentum. That's the only stick. If I was gonna play devil's advocate to my own argument, that's about the only silver lining that I can see. And if you can upset that apple cart, you set. But I wouldn't. It's way more work. It's more checks. I see more pellets, big pellets over here on this side than that one big pellet over there in that corner that you gotta, you know what I'm saying, and what you gotta go through to get that, because they're gonna rake you over the coals. Like, he has a track record of raking everybody over the coals. Like, he did it to Jamel Herring, who was the champ. So he tried the 90-10 Muay Thai. You see what he was trying to do with Devin. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to deal with Jay Prince and all of that stuff, man. And then Keyshawn and all of the media. Because right now, you a darling. Why? Because they want to, like Shakur said, they saw you beating Tank. So they running with that. Well, I actually saw that he actually beat you. Yeah, we saw it, but he actually beat Tank, in my opinion. So they running with that. You know what I'm saying? Even though that wasn't the judgment that was rendered, they running with that. So you're going to be going up against all of that. When you can get hot right here with all this competition right around you. But let's close out with this, AC. Let me ask you something. We talked about the business of boxing, but let's just say Lamont don't win and Zepeda win. Zepeda wins. Because O'Shack say he want the winner. He's not no respecter of persons. He coming up for that WBC and he want the winner. How do you see that? Now, if Zepeda get his hand raised, what you think gonna be the consequences of that?
If Zepeda get his hand raised, Oscar is gonna be slobbering at the mouth to put Zepeda in there with Oshaki Foster. Oscar's gonna look at that fight as a must-make fight, for the simple fact that, you know, he says what he says about Shakur, but he feels, in my opinion, that his guys are better than Shakur. Like, Shakur just doesn't want to see his guys. He's like, Shakur's a great fighter, but, you know, like he said before, he's not fighting anybody that's really relevant. So I think just for the sake of it and to build Zepeda, you feel what I'm saying? Or even try to build a Zepeda versus Shakur rematch. He's going to be slobbering at the Zepeda versus Oshaki fight, because let's just say Zepeda beats Oshaki. Now he's coming back with Zepeda like, yeah, this is a different Zepeda than you fought before. If you want to do this thing on Zuffa, maybe we'll think about it. But, you know, you're not going to have the ability to rake my guy over the coals. I'm not going to let you. Either we're going to negotiate fairly, or we're not going to negotiate at all, because my guy doesn't need you. He's beating the guys that you're ducking. And Oscar will say some shit like that on one of those clapback Thursdays.
I can see that.
At the end of the day, I think if Zepeda beats Lamont Roach, then Zepeda has a set course to where I think, number one, his run is going to start with beating Lamont Roach on his comeback, taking on Oshaki Foster. Let's say he beats Oshaki Foster. Now you got Roach and Oshaki under your belt. So the talking points of you beating Roach, who is arguably the guy who beat Tank, you feel what I'm saying? You just did that. Shakur never wanted to fight Tank. You're going to build that fight on that. Then you're going to go, you're going to bring up the WBC situation with Oshaki Foster and Shakur. So basically, you're going to use Zepeda to back Shakur into a corner that either he comes out and people say, all right, damn, bro, you ducked them two dudes horribly, but now you ducking Zepeda? Wow. After beating him, you're going to do it. So Oscar has a way to spin this. So that's the way I kind of see it.
Word. Yeah.
And for me, that's
I think.
Go ahead.
What?
No.
I was thinking. I know JD Herrera gonna come up in the mix at some point, and probably just a young undefeated guy that's still kind of raw, but he's gonna have to get a shot. He's gonna be sprinkled in there somewhere, and I think the more Taya after this, more Taya get past Conceição, if he does, I already know he's going up to 40. So it's gonna be interesting to see, you know what I'm saying? But I think we did this one justice, man. I think I gave, one of the guys, one of the up and coming guys, still only in his second 8-rounder. This will be his second 8-rounder. So we got something to look at in the welterweights. We got a strong contender in Charles Conwell and Kroll. That's big implications. I'm thinking that's gonna be the fight of the night. I think I gave people something to look forward to and highlighted the sleeper. This is a sleeper card, but like, how you want to land, man? How you want to close out?
Man, I'll just close out like this. This is going to be an exciting card. It's a lot of relevant fights, depending on how you want to try to read the tea leaves and stuff like that, and give your estimation on what it is. We're not being fanagers or anything like that. We're just giving our estimations on basically what might be better it's just my thought. It's based on my opinion and some facts that are attached to other situations that bear relevancy on these fights, especially the main card. Um, Outside of that, I want to see what Conwell looks like. I want to see what the youngin looks like, and you know, I'll be back to really talk about it on Sunday. But you know, salute to everybody that's on this card. This is an entertaining card. Salute to Oscar for putting this joint together. Yeah, I like the way Oscar talked at the end of the weigh-ins, where he was saying that um, because everybody's under one roof, there's this friendly competition of the promoters now looking to make the best cards. Yeah, they're looking to make the best fights, but they're also trying to put on the best cards, and you know, it's looking like everybody. The answer to a lot of boxing's problems was just to get all the promotional companies under one network. That seemed to fix at least half of the problems. So all the fighters and all the promoters being under one network is showing right now that is one of the biggest positive takeaways of this mega merger and stuff like that. And as the boxing fans, we're getting fights that we want to see, even some dream fights that we wanted to see, even fights that were far-fetched, like, yeah, that would be a good one, but there's all of this stuff in the way because we were still thinking in terms of the traditional setting where each a promotional company had its own network. So yeah, I'm happy for this, and it's showing very, very positive, strong, promising results that this might have been the one thing that just needed to be fixed, and now it's just going to grow into something else. And that's where I landed, bro.
All right, man. Well, shoot, man. Good work as always, man. You had some people laughing, man, and great points, man. Hopefully, man, let's keep our fingers crossed to the boxing god that everybody make weight, man, and we'll chop it up. I just wanted to do this just in case, we don't do nothing tomorrow or before the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you enjoy your evening, bro.
You too, bro.
All right, man. Another good one in the books, y'all. Hopefully you got some nutritional value out of this episode, man. We getting off the beaten path, y'all. We are getting off that beaten path, man. Let's see. Appreciate you, OG Cast. Another lit cook. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for your support, brethren. But yeah, man, I just wanted to put a stake in the ground for this card, man. This is a sleeper card, sleeper summer card, man. This is the fight that we in. It's the first of the month. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. So the first of the month, we getting a banger. And only reason why I did this is because, again, I'm highlighting the guy that I like. I know Conwell's coming off of a loss. It was almost like a loss like Sabril Matias and Liam Paro, where he just got outworked. He didn't get beat up or nothing like that. He didn't take all this damage and all that. He just pretty much lost and slipped away on the scorecards. But he's one of my guys. So I didn't even highlight the whole card. I just highlighted a rising prospect, right? I highlighted a very valuable contender in Charles Conwell, who could easily be a champion right now. Had he got his shot with Xander, who knows, man? I don't know if he would have been able to go on and unify right away, because that's a dangerous man. I say he like a little action figure, man. And hopefully he's motivated, but he's up against one of them Philly fighters, man. Undefeated. Fight of the night. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that's going to be the fight of the night. And Mortalia's coming into his own. I like him. I'm not one of them guys where I need you to stand on your head and pee-pop on the headstand for me at the press conference. I don't need all of that. You know what I'm saying? If you come in there with a I'm all because that's how I am sometimes, you know. So I get like, especially when it comes down to business. Sometimes I'll be strictly business. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's that East Coast. I don't know if it's because I'm militant in some ways. Sometimes I'll just be straight down to business. You know what I'm saying? I'm just straight, you know. So I like Moritalia. I like the mindset. I like the fact that he got Robert Garcia and that vicious stable Robert got over there. Because remember, he got Bam. He got so many fighters. He got Virgil. He got a plethora of fighters over there. So I just highlighted 3 of the guys that, you know, that I like. And that's not even the whole card. That's not even the prelims. And I could have talked about some other guys, you know what I'm saying? But Moritalia got a test and Robson Conceição. Might be a little long in the tooth, but I highlighted the 3 guys that he lost to. So that's something to look forward to. Man, I think this card, and then Roach and Zepeda, they're gonna answer some questions. I think as far as matchmaking, the boxing gods got this one right. Because you can kind of like flip a coin depending on, okay, cool, Lamont might win, but will he do enough for the scorecards? You know what I'm saying? Did Zepeda learn? You got a southpaw versus an orthodox. There's so many different storylines. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get caught up in the purse bids and who said what on Twitter and all that. We ain't getting into that. We about to start ignoring these dudes. We about to start highlighting the people that's going to work. Like, you remember how I highlighted in the housekeeping? Bam versus Rodriguez is in talks for May of 2027. Gary Antoine about to get a title defense because he's still being a boogeyman of some sort. And nobody's knocking on Andy Hirioka's door. You know, Tito Mercado very much could have been in the housekeeping. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen him talking his stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my guys. 140 is lit. Boxing is lit. It's just all in where you choose to put your time, effort, and attention. We're going to start putting it on the guys that's doing something for the sport, that's pushing the sport forward. Because if we relied on your favorite fighter to get the job done, boxing would definitely be 100% WWE, WWF. You know what I'm saying? We'll see a lot more of that AJ stuff. We'll see influencer boxing a lot more. We're not going to do that. Hopefully you was able to put something in your rucksack and march forward with your next boxing conversation. Silence is consent, meaning that all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So you got to speak to the things that need to be spoken to in the sport of boxing. But remember, what you don't feed can't grow. So if you keep feeding this ignorance, that's all we're going to get. Ignorance begets ignorance. You know what I'm saying? That's if you feed into it, you're going to keep it growing. You're going to be, oh, yeah, I got a lot of attention. You tell me views because I said this and being sensational. And the whole time you lying. Look at what your guy just said here recently. Anyways, we always say, go where everybody knows your name, and they always glad you came, and they always sing your praise, and then come over in here with me and AC got to say. You know what I'm saying? When the 300 get together and people hop up on the panel, like minds, man. They be talking that boxing, man. They not in for all the drama, all the gossip, all the salacious. They just trying to get down to the business, and they know their facts, and they know their history, and they're not scared to say something about it. You know, so look out for this card. Hopefully everybody makes the way in, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't see us, you know what I'm saying, anymore before the fight, then you know what I'm saying, hopefully you able to, you know, put some time and attention to the card, man. I think it's gonna be a sleeper. I'm excited about it, man. Tomorrow's the weigh-ins, but we 48 hours away, man, from getting that real deal Holyfield. But y'all know I could talk that boxing all day and all night, man. Support the channel, man. Like, comment, subscribe, super chat, cash app, hype the videos. You know what I'm saying? We do put in work. Y'all see I be putting up nutritional value, man. I don't just come up here just giving you a whole bunch of opinions. You know what I'm saying? We put in that fact work. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Bodywork.